Coming up on the Empowered Woman podcast.
I was like, this feels like a beautiful result.
Yes.
And then not only that, I have this list of 150 people that have signed up for my masterclass who are considered warm leads,
Right.
People who I can go back and have more of a direct connection with.
Welcome to the Empowered Woman podcast, the #1 show on personal growth, visibility, and profit for women entrepreneurs. If you're wanting to get empowered to be seen, stand out on social media, stages, TV, and more to make an impact with your voice in business, you're in the right place. I am so glad that you're here. My name is Marta Spurk, and I'm your host, empowerment coach, visibility and marketing expert, and all things motivation extraordinaire. Welcome again, and let's dive into today's episode. Recently, I taught a live training called $100,000 Year Debrief, where I walked you through the steps that I have taken to get my business to $100,000 in 1 year. So in the last 12 months, I reached over $100,000 in sales. And I share what exactly it was that I did and, the breakthroughs that I've had the last 7 years as an online business owner. And as a part of that training, which by the way, you can watch the replay. Just go to martaspurk.com/100K year replay. I'll have the link in the show notes. As a part of that training, instead of just quoting client stories, I invited a client of mine to be interviewed live. So I interviewed her live and had her walk everyone through the steps that we created together to reach her very first proper launch and almost $5,000 in sales. So it's a very, very interesting conversation from her perspective as well. So I decided to repurpose this interview as a podcast episode and also announce my Black Friday sale, which is a brand new, never before seen offer called the $100,000 Visibility Blueprint. So it expands on everything that I taught on that free training, and it is available until Cyber Monday, November 27th. The links are also in the show notes. So here you go. Here's Danielle Anderson and her interview with me about her amazing, successful launch.
So now I want to bring a client story. Woo! So I decided to do something different. Because usually I have testimonials or I bring in stories. But I decided, for the purposes of visibility, since I am a visibility expert here, is I'm going to be interviewing my client live, and obviously repurposing this for a podcast episode as well, because, why not? I did talk about repurposing. That was in one of the slides. And I'm also giving her visibility. You get to know her now if you don't already know who Danielle Anderson, the amazing, is. So I just put some bullet points here. I will let go of the slides and bring the slides back on before I close. But I want to invite Danielle up to talk about the journey of working together because we knew each other. So that's very important networking wise. We knew each other. I'll let her speak, but been floating on social media for a while. We met in person last year. And then finally she messaged me and she's like, I need to work with you somehow. Let's get on a call. That's fun. That's fun when the person actually volunteers themselves. You don't have to go and ask. And she wanted to launch a membership. She joined one of my courses. She joined my human design membership. And now, a few months later, this wasn't even 7 years later. Here are her results. It was just within a few months, she did launch her membership. She welcomed 13 members. And my favorite, I don't know, all of them are my favorite, but she went out on a limb and launched her own human design offer. By being a part of my membership, she gathered the courage to start putting stuff out there. All right, my friend. Unmute yourself and let's do this. Let me do a speaker so that we can see ourselves. Okay. Danielle, tell us who you are and what you do, and we'll get right into it.
We'll go with that. Okay. Well, thanks so much for having me. I'm Danielle Anderson. I am the birth mother of Inkworthy Books. We are a publication services company. We help self-publishers publish their soulful nonfiction. And as Marta explained, I also launched my membership. It's called the Soulful Nonfiction School. We do what it sounds like there. We learn about how to write and publish soulful nonfiction. And then I also have the beautiful, I'm a perfect manifesting generator. This is what I say, because I also launched a subscription box. It's called the Sacred Ink Box. It's soul care for the writer's journey. My human design reading service does not have a fancy name yet. Okay. So in case you have any ideas, let me know.
No, it sounds amazing. Sorry to cut you off. And we'll get to the human design as well. I wanted to just start from the beginning as well, from what I talked about, the networking, like from your perspective, because I know the story from my perspective, but from your perspective and seeing me around and getting to the point where it's like, I need to do something, and then jumping into two things of mine right off the bat, and then we'll get into the process and the results.
Yeah. So I know we're in the same networking group, and to be honest, like when I first started seeing you around, I was sort of like, who is this woman and what does she do? What does she do? Like, I just kept seeing you in all of these places in all of these ways and talking about different things. And so you were always kind of on my radar, but I never really thought that there was something there for me yet, and it was like, okay, we met in person. I just knew I liked your energy. And then something you said one day clicked for me, and I was like, okay, I need to figure out what the hell this woman does. I need to figure out how I can work with her. But I think it was, we were in the same space talking to a lot of the same people, and just you were showing up, and I just kept seeing you everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what it was that I said that clicked?
I do not. And because I came in and you were like, by the way, I'm starting this thing like tomorrow or something. And it was just like divine timing. But it must have been something about your membership, right? That was the first thing I jumped into.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah. Well, this is good testament in terms of the visibility as well. Because sometimes, it could be that you're not being very clear about what you do, or you could be launching different offers like I am, which I'm getting into the point where I'm streamlining more, but it's okay. It's all part of the journey. As long as you're showing up, right? I mean, the visibility thing that I'm doing, it's working, you guys. Even if people don't know what I'm doing, they feel drawn to connect with me and ask me, what is it that you're doing? Maybe I need it. I don't know. Just tell me. So whatever it is, just put yourself out there. Okay. And then we talked, and what did you discover, Danielle?
It just felt like there was an alignment with where I wanted to get, because I had been kind of envisioning this membership for years, literal years. And you must have said something about helping me like map it out and really get solidified in the plan and the steps and all of this. More about the structure and the strategy behind it, because I had the vision and I had the passion. I just didn't know what I didn't know. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's where we jumped in. And I know you gave me, as part of that, you gave me entrance into your other membership. So there was kind of like, okay, let's do this. I'm in that space. And I'm kind of seeing you support people in a couple different ways.
Mm-hmm. And then when human design popped up, that was something you were already interested in. So it was a natural thing I want to dive into more.
Yeah, I had been studying that for about 5 years or so. And it was just something if I hadn't birthed Inkworthy Books, I probably would have gone that route. I was really, really considering becoming certified in human design and making that my business. But books have captured my heart, and I don't think I'll get away from that anytime soon. So I was like, I'm really interested in this. And this whole year has been in a space where I've allowed myself to really lean into what I want this business to feel like for me. And I decided I wanted to get a little more woo in my business, and came up with this term, soulful nonfiction, which is something I'm probably going to go trademark, because it's something that's very deep and soulful that we do when we write a book. And so I was like, there's nothing more perfect than bringing human design and astrology and a bunch of cool stuff into my community, which is why I decided to really put more concentrated effort toward studying human design, because I offer it to my students.
Mm-hmm. Well, you touched on a few things that are very relevant to what I teach and prove the importance of what I teach. Before, you mentioned the steps and having a framework. So that's one of the things that I teach, and that you knew you didn't have and that you needed, that I could help you with. And the other thing is me being visible with different offers, and you joining one thing and being like, well, I'm enjoying this one thing that I'm in with her, with Marta. this seems like another thing that I could do. I will go ahead and jump in. So this is a testament of repeat customers. We all want them. We all need them, right? Because they already trust you. And this is also the importance of having different offers, different tiers, right? So maybe it's a different offer, a different subject matter, or maybe it's a different level of investment. People are already in your world. They already know you. They see something that speaks to them. They can join, but it takes you actually creating that thing and then launching it and talking about it, which is what I did. Okay, so you go through the membership course, you structure your membership. Now it's time to launch. How did that feel? And then let's talk about our work together too, in you launching it.
Yeah, so one thing that I've learned about myself, I've officially been an entrepreneur for a little over 4 years, but I was a freelancer for, I don't even know, 9 years before that. So I've been serving people independently through my own efforts for many, many years. But I've been doing it mostly passively. It was never very comfortable for me to get out there and be like, hey, I'm Danielle, like I can help you write your book. It just never felt very good, because I think there's just a sales mentality out there of like, be aggressive and get into people's faces and like go hard sell. And that's just not me. So I have never officially launched anything. And when I did, it was like, hey, guess what? I'm doing this one thing and here's my one post. And so like, come hang out with me. And then I would walk away and be like, oh, like 10 people liked my post and like 0 people joined, and it was just, so it didn't feel very good to launch anything. And then on the other end of the spectrum, when I see people launching, it was like, you get, 14 posts a day and like 4 emails a day, and you're going like, holy shit, this is a lot, right? So as a receiver of that, it felt very overwhelming. So I've only lived with experience in those two extremes. And I know we were talking about launching in the membership, when you talk about your membership and getting to the point of actually launching it. So that was really helpful for me to understand, like, there's different ways to launch. There's different strategies you can bring to that. But I knew that if it was up to me, I would chicken out. I would just chicken out, and I would fall back on my old fears and stuff. So I needed to figure out how to show up, because I really love this membership. I really love it. It's really a part of me. And so I was like, hey, Marta, like, can you help me? Right? I just wanted like a friend to like walk with me through it. And now I understand that it doesn't have to feel like I'm bombarding people with tons of stuff. I didn't get that many unsubscribes in my email list. And by the way, the ones that did had signed up for like a little freebie thing from some event I talked at earlier in the year, and they weren't probably ideal people for me anyway. So it was a blessing in disguise to say, hey, our time has come. So did I answer your question?
Oh yeah. No, you totally did. So you realized, okay, I love that you said that we're two sides of the spectrum, and there were extremes where you post one and then you pout that no one actually, you post once and you pout that no one actually signed up for your thing, which is the reality of a lot of people. Yeah. And then the other extreme of, I need to go balls to the wall and be Amy Porterfield or any of these big people that have huge teams, by the way. So that's how they're sending 14 emails a day and
running ads. And yeah,
exactly. So those are the, points of reference that we have. And we think these are our alternatives. And then we worked together with a plan that was realistic to you. And I remember asking you, like, how does it feel? Because I know that's very important. I've grown wise over the last few years to understand that people don't operate like me. So I have to ask, how does it feel to send 3 emails a week and create a plan? And we created a plan. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the plan and how that was helpful for you to actually take action, and then the results. I'm so excited.
Yeah, no, my type AAA is what my mom calls me. So that side of me really loves the plan, and I'm really good at planning. And then I chicken out with the, bringing it to life, the implementation, because I'll map out what I think needs to happen. And then it feels like way too much. So I really appreciate that you were like, you kind of jumped in and you were like, this is kind of what I would suggest. And then I was like, yeah, it kind of feels like a lot, Marta. I'm not, I don't know if I'm comfortable with 1 a day, because my people have been getting 1 a month from me, and I don't want it to feel like I'm totally bombarding them. But I would much rather have a a strategy that involves like direct outreach and direct connection with people that I know are really good fits for me. And I want to say, what really, really helped me was that I wasn't promoting something that was paid. I was launching something that was free, meaning my masterclass. And then on that masterclass is where I would promote and invite people into my membership. That really released me from feeling like I was being super salesy. Because I was just like, look, you're going to learn some awesome stuff. Please come hang out with me. And I genuinely meant that. It wasn't like a trick, so I was really excited about that. So I think having like a plan to say, this is when we promote the masterclass, and this is when we promote the, post masterclass, promote the launch of the membership, really helped me understand, like, this is the scope of work. This is what I need and when, and this is how much I'm going to be talking about this. Mm-hmm. And it was just a mentality that helped me feel comfortable with the whole process.
And how many people did you have register for the masterclass?
It was 150 people. I had to upgrade my Zoom. It was ridiculous. I had to upgrade my Zoom because I was like, if everyone comes, I'm not going to have capacity, which I knew not everyone would, but I had 50 people come. That was insane. Mm-hmm. And it could have been more. I lost track because I was busy actually teaching. But I think it was a huge, huge success. It was a really huge success. I worked so hard on those slides. I really loved your template. And then I really this is what I've learned about myself as a businesswoman. I am really good at finding powerful partners, but I don't always take ownership of the work that they bring into my world. And so I'll say like, hey, VA, go write the email and do the thing and do the post. And then I wouldn't look at it and make it my own words. So you providing the template, and then I allowed myself to just step in and say, let's make this Danielle. Let's make this really aligned with my energy and how I want to come with. And then you gave me feedback on like, hey, let's maybe not say this here, or let's move this over here. And there's strategy behind that. I really appreciated the partnership there.
Yeah, that was so good. And this is so powerful for people listening to understand that this is what is waiting for you out there if you decide to go for it and actually have a plan and implement the strategies that I teach, right? I mean, did you have any idea that 150 people would sign up for this thing?
No, I know that blew me away. And I'll tell you what, my goal was to get 10 people enrolled into my school, and I had 13. So that was also really just a beautiful testament to like the strategy and the mentality and the attitude and the energy and the heart that I brought with this partnership into that space. And I wrote down my launch number because I never launched anything. I didn't know what it was supposed to feel like or be like, but I was like, if I could get 10 people, that'd be amazing. I made $4,800 in that launch. And again, I have nothing to compare it to, but I was like, this feels like a beautiful result. Yes. And then not only that, I have this list of 150 people that have signed up for my masterclass who are considered warm leads, right? People who I can go back and have more of a direct connection with and just continue fostering that relationship.
Right. So now you get to build on the momentum that you created with this and launch other things, leverage the visibility that you created, because visibility compounds to more stuff, which you already did. So I want to talk about speaking, because I didn't even know about this, but you had a speaking engagement, which goes back to my advice here to do more speaking. You had a speaking engagement where you talked about human design, and then you decided, I'm going to launch this, which before that I saw you put out a post. So, oh my gosh, you're doing all the things that I train, which is amazing.
You joined your visibility bingo.
So you put out the post, a feeler post, like, would you be interested? And then you did the speaking engagement, and then you launched an offer and people signed up right away, which is so exciting. So tell us about that progression real quick.
Yeah, I probably needed to put a little more heat into that launch just to give it more, but it was, again, perfect manifesting generator energy if you know anything about it. But it was like, hey, this feels good. I'm going to jump in here. So I have really geeked out about human design. I know the benefits. I've been bringing it into my practice and specifically supporting my students with it in my school. And months ago, I had sort of been like, hey, if you need someone to fill in one of your months to speak in my local polka dot chapter. I'm like, just throw me in there. And it was November, and I didn't even remember until October which is when I was launching this whole big thing. My whole month of October felt taken up. So I didn't even have time to think about it. And when I settled into that, I was like, I really think this is such a helpful conversation to have, that I was like, I'm just going to show up and teach them about this. And I'm like, gosh, if someone wants to learn more and work with me, I don't even have an offer. Let's create that. And then I dropped that feeler post and I was like, okay, people want to talk about this. So it kind of fell into place.
Yeah. And then you put out the offer. It was one day. And sent out an email. I got the email. I was like, oh my gosh, she did it. She was just teasing people. And now she actually did it, which was so exciting. Yeah. And then you had people sign up right away from that email.
Yeah. I had three people sign up. I have a few more that are like, kind of, let me check it out. But like I said, I haven't put a lot of heat into it. So I'll probably just start talking about it. But I like to stay in my own lane. Books are my lane. Human design supports that work.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things. I have people all the time like, can you read my chart? Can you read my chart? Sure, here's a link. Here's a link,
Yeah, that's so good. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience so far. It's been so wonderful working with you, watching you blossom and grow. Like, it makes me so excited. Will you tell people how to connect with you and how to find your amazing membership, your human design offers? Tell us more.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Danielle, book coach, Danielle, something like that. Inkworthy Books. Find me at inkworthybooks.com. Okay, everything's on there because my name is just one of those. You can't find me anywhere, but you will be able to find me with that handle wherever you go.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I so appreciate your time.
Thank you, Marta. I appreciate your help.
All right. Well, let's continue on with, okay, so here's the offer, right? I need to offer you something, but after this, what if by the end of 2023, which we're really close to the end, you knew exactly what to do for the next hours, days, weeks, months to generate more exposure and more sales for your business? But most importantly, what if you had the step-by-step to create content and increase your sales, the support of a group to keep going, and the guidance of a mentor, aka me, to ask questions to and get suggestions? So what if you got support to build your offer suite, to plan your next launch, just like Danielle talked about, map out a content calendar, craft a signature talk, apply to speak, all of the things. Find and join networking groups, learn how to promote yourself in there, and all of the things. Well, my friend, there is an answer. And the answer is my Black Friday offer, which is something new that I created. I've been recording the modules in the last couple of weeks. I never usually do that because I run stuff live because it gives me urgency to actually create the content. So having to create the content beforehand was tough, but it's juicy. It's so good. It's called the $100,000 Visibility Blueprint. It's my empowered system for more sales. And it's got everything that I talked about in this training and the points that Danielle made in terms of being intentional and creating a strategy to have a successful launch. I mean, what would it mean to you to launch something and make $5,000 off of it? Just like what Danielle said, right? What would it mean to you to launch something and the same day, 3 people say, I want to buy this? Just via email, by the way. She didn't do a webinar for the human design offer. She sent 1 email and 3 people took her up. And just to clarify, was the offer $200 and some, Danielle? It wasn't $10.
Yeah, it was $222, and I gave them, because it was 11/11, I gave them a $50 off discount for that one day, which is probably why no one signed up the next day.
Yeah, no, but this says a lot. It wasn't like $10, come join my thing. It was a little bit higher, and people were warmed up enough for something completely new. It wasn't like book a call to write your book. It was something completely different from what she offers, and people still took her up on it. That's huge. So this is going to be available until Cyber Monday. So you have, about 10 days here to decide. If you go to marchesbook.com /100K visibility blueprint, you can snag it. So I will pop the link here real quick. And like I said, this is something that I don't have anywhere else. It is brand new. For all of you ladies that are repeat clients, this is brand new because it really walks you through all of these different steps. But it doesn't stop there. So let me just tell you what it's included. So this is clear set of steps to skyrocket your visibility and finally feel empowered in your sales process. I have a whole module on content that walks you through everything I talked about in these slides, but in more detail. So I recorded those videos with all the steps. speaking, networking, so how to find, join networking groups, all of those things. There is a private members portal. So this is a course. As soon as you jump in, you're going to have access to all those videos to binge. You can finish this weekend and create a plan for next week. And there's also lots of templates. So things that I have created for other courses, I am adding on there. I am finally streamlining everything into visibility and saying, this is what you need. Go in there and you're going to have a clear set of steps and strategy.
So this is it. Snag my exclusive Black Friday offer, the $100,000 visibility blueprint. It's only $297. It is not going to be available in this format again, and you have until Cyber Monday, November 27th to get it. Go to martasburke.com/100K visibility blueprint. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope this episode empowered you. And if you enjoyed the show, please join the Empowered Woman community on Facebook and share with friends or leave a review on iTunes so more people can discover this empowering message. Until next time, bye.